Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm gonna compare the new Huawei P20 Lite and the last flagship, the P10. So let's get into the video and starting off with the construction. So the P20 Lite is coming with glass back and aluminium frame versus the P10 came with fully aluminium body, and some colors of the handset came with matte finish on the back while some with reflective finish versus the back glass on the P20 Lite is gonna have chrome finish on it. The P10 came with 5.1 inch screen being wider 16 by 9 in aspect ratio versus it's gonna be 5.84 inches on the P20 Lite, and it's longer 19 by 9 in aspect ratio with a notch. So as for the overall size of this, the P10 is gonna be slightly less longer and wider than the P20 Lite, and by that I mean just 2 to 3 millimeters difference. Obviously huge difference in the front design, and we are gonna have very high screen to body ratio on the P20 Lite, but the side bezels on the P10 are gonna be a lot thinner than the side bezels on the P20 Lite, but the top and the bottom bezels are huge on the P10. And as for the weight, both handsets are gonna be weighing exactly the same. Both handsets are coming with on-screen control keys for navigation, and the fingerprint scanner is at the front on the P10, so we can also use this for navigation versus the fingerprint scanner is at the back on the P20 Lite. And on both handsets the speaker is gonna be on the bottom side. For connectivity, there's gonna be USB Type-C port on both handsets along with the headphone jack, and at last both does not have any protection against water. The display is IPS LCD on both handsets with full HD resolution, so they're gonna be exactly 432 pixels per inch on both. The P20 Lite is coming with Android 8 Oreo with latest EMUI versus we're gonna have Android 7 Nougat on the P10 out of the box, and then we can update it to the Android 8 Oreo with latest EMUI. And at last, to protect the screens, there's gonna be Gorilla Glass 5 on the P10 versus screen protection for the P20 Lite has not been specified by Huawei. As for the performance aspects, and the P20 is coming with the high silicon Kirin 659 inside versus the P10 is coming with Kirin 960, and the 960 being the last year's flagship, it's significantly faster than the Kirin 659. And as for the RAM, it's gonna be 4 gigabytes on both handsets, means multitasking is gonna be smooth. Both are gonna have 32 and 64 gigabytes of storage variants, and on both this storage can be increased via micro SD card. Now coming to the camera, and it's gonna be 16 megapixels main sensor on the P20 Lite versus its 12 megapixels main sensor on the P10, and both are coming with the same aperture size. The secondary sensor on the P20 is 2 megapixels and it's just for portrait shots versus on the P10 the secondary sensor is 20 megapixels and it's not just for portrait shots. The phone has 2 times hybrid zoom feature, which is very fine digital zoom, and this secondary sensor can capture very high dynamic range because it's a monochrome sensor, and it's also coming with large aperture size, which is gonna help it to gather more light to produce good low light images. For refocusing, both handsets are gonna use face detection autofocus, while we're also gonna have laser autofocus on the P10 for fast refocusing at close range. And for stabilization, the P20 Lite is gonna use software versus the camera is gonna be optically stabilized on the P10. The video recording resolution is 1080p on the P20 Lite versus it's 4K on the P10, and the handset can record 1080p at 60 fps. And as for the slow-mo videos, the P10 can record them at 1080p resolution versus the P20 in lower than 720p resolution. The front camera is 16 megapixels on the P20 Lite versus it's 8 megapixels on the P10, and on both we can take portrait selfies and both can capture 1080p selfie videos. At last for the battery, and it's gonna be 3000 mAh capacity on the P20 versus it's 3200 mAh on the P10. So not a huge difference, but the P20 Lite is gonna have to lit a larger screen compared to the P10, so that can make a huge difference. And as for the fast charging, the P20 Lite is coming with 9 volts and 2 amperes fast charging versus it's gonna be 5 volts and 4.5 amperes fast charging on the P10. So it's definitely gonna be faster. So this is it for this video guys. Let me know what do you guys think about both handsets, and if you made it till here then be sure to like this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.